There's no party, no event, no carnival, no gathering, and no festival that has ever measured up to a traveling horde of World Cup football fans. Americans, Canadians, and Mexicans will be getting a taste of this for 4 more weeks as FIFA gets through Game Week 1 and progresses through the latter stages of the first 48-team World Cup to ever be held. Football fandom, quite literally, is more fanatical than anything that Americans have seen on their soil. And while USMNT fans have done their fair share, it's clear that the lack of traditional support and customs that define their fandom hold them back in how raucously they are able to get behind their team. From massive citywide takeovers to viral bouncing chants that literally are shaking host cities, traveling supporters have turned the US, Canada, Mexico into one giant global party. Today, we're ranking the top 10 best fan bases of the 2026 World Cup based on their sheer activity, street takeovers, and stadium atmospheres right now. Who is winning the party off the pitch? Let's find out. At number 10, we have USMNT fans. While they ignore President Trump's remark about how football should be called football,
because we have a little bit of a conflict with another thing that's called football. But when you think about it, shouldn't it really be called? I mean, this is football. There's no question about it. We have to come up with another name for the NFL stuff. It really doesn't make sense.
That cannot downplay how they turned out their national team in Game 1 of the group stages as Team USA beat Paraguay 4-1 in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. Ticket demand in the Pacific Northwest has been so intense.
FIFA is facing calls to answer questions now after allegations of artificially inflating prices and misleading fans over the sale of tickets for the upcoming World Cup.
That resale prices in Seattle have soared past 2,000. Coming at number 9 are defending champions Argentina. While the country is suffering from some of its least prosperous times under Javier Milei, football is all that Argentinians have going for them today. And the ones who can afford to attend the World Cup have absolutely pulled their weight. Argentine tourists have toured Kansas City and Dallas into Buenos Aires La Hinchada, booked up entire neighborhoods, filling the streets with massive rallies, waving banners, and singing muchachos on repeat. Now, if only they can rein in some of the more unsavory, racist elements of their fan base. At number 8, we have perhaps the world's best pound-for-pound forwarding nation, Australia. The Socceroos didn't care about a grueling 14-hour flight from Sydney. They descended upon Vancouver's walkable stadium districts in massive numbers, bringing elite energy to Canada's west coast. And after their 2-0 win over Turkey, the Aussie supporters can bank on an extended trip for the World Cup to attend the knockouts. And they can show Americans and the rest of the world just how serious they are about footy.
It's incredible. I don't think anybody here expected this outcome. It's insane. It's absolutely crazy.
Following up Australia at number 8, we have Ecuador fans taking up the number 7 spot. They delivered one of the most viral moments of the tournament so far, staging a massive coordinated takeover of Philadelphia's iconic Rocky Steps before forming a defining wall of yellow inside Lincoln Financial Field.
The so-called Rocky statue curse, where fans put their team's jersey on Rocky and the team ends up losing. It happened yet again. Yesterday, Ecuador fans draped Rocky with their team's jersey, and of course, they lost.
And although the Côte d'Ivoire team managed to inflict a 1-0 defeat on the Ecuadorians, the team could still end up in the knockout rounds even with the loss to Germany. And you bet your bottom dollar that Americans are going to get turned around their Ecuadorian brothers. At number 6 are the famed group of Colombia's footballing supporters, Los Cafetoros. Ahead of their first game of the World Cup, Los Cafetoros completely took over Miami. They drove up pre-tournament ticket prices to astronomical levels and turned Florida's short-term rentals in Bayfront Park into a sea of bright yellow. Their support proved to be instrumental in setting up a 3-1 win and veritable qualification to the knockout rounds. Colombians have typically had some of the most eye-candy heavy fan bases to tournament football, and 2026 is no different. And while Bosnia could end up the first team to be officially eliminated from the World Cup, their fan base has stamped its authority enough to rank at number 5 on our list, activating their deep North American diaspora.
You know, Canada star players will not be, so we're looking forward to that, and we're looking forward to show why we're out here, you know, for the people who can make us. So let's go Bosnia! Let's go!
Local and traveling Bosnian fans completely filled the streets of Toronto before marching west to take over Southern California plazas and watch Bosnia draw 1-1 with Canada. And despite their 3-0 loss to Switzerland, their raucous fans showed an immense presence at SoFi Stadium out west too. Coming in at number 4 are one of the few fan bases who have never missed out on a World Cup, Brazil. Kana Zero supporters brought the carnival straight to New York City ahead of their first game against Morocco, which they drew 1-1. They staged a massive samba drumming rally that completely paradised Times Square ahead of their opener, creating an unforgettable spectacle. Brazilian supporters also attached themselves to the Knicks fans that night, who celebrated the team's first NBA championship in a whopping 53 years. They're expected to bring the same verve to Philadelphia, Miami, and the rest of their World Cup run. Our first podium fan base are the Mexicans, who at number 3 have shown just how great a football-crazy nation can be as hosts. Mexicans welcomed various fan bases with some moving hospitality and conjured up some of the most delectable spectacles we've seen on World Cup streets, including hooking up a couple of Korean brothers up on the streets. El Tri fans have made history with a deafening opening match at the legendary Estadio Azteca. Because they travel across borders in millions, they will successfully turn every single US host stadium into a de facto home match. At number 2, we have the Orange, Netherlands fan base who always light up every international tournament that their team qualifies for. Their distinctive colors and their boisterous nature, coupled with their easygoing ways, has made the Dutch fan base a necessary fixture at every international tournament. The Orange Legger brought their iconic double-decker Dutch orange bus straight to Dallas. They unleashed their viral synchronized Links Rex left bouncing chant, literally shaking the pavement in Texas ahead of their 2-2 draw with Japan. The rest of the spots had stiff competition, but our number 1 fan base has been clear of every other country thus far in the tournament. Returning to a World Cup after a 28 long years, the Scotsmen have made sure to turn Boston and New England into a Tartan Army stronghold. The Tartan Army are making every second count, emptying the beer coffers of Massachusetts on a daily basis, while also maintaining exemplary discipline and cleanliness as a unit. They've completely taken over Boston for back-to-back games, flooding Fenway Park and downtown streets with kilts, bagpipes, and unmatched energy. They are officially the best fan base of the 2026 World Cup.